Hello to everyone here in Colorado Springs and around the country who are joining us. My name is Bobby Goldwater. I'm the president of the Goldwater Group, and it is a pleasure to welcome everybody here today. On behalf of the 8 member institutions of the National Collegiate Hockey Conference, Colorado College, University of Denver, Miami University, Minnesota Duluth, Nebraska Omaha, North Dakota, St. Cloud State, and Western Michigan, and our consultant team, the Goldwater Group and Stafford Sports, we're pleased to have everybody. We're pleased to be back here at Penrose House. We are in the same room as we were back on July 13th last summer to announce the formation of the National Collegiate Hockey Conference, and we are now back for another milestone in launching the conference, the introduction of the conference's first commissioner. Our format today, we will have some remarks here at the podium. We will then, including the introduction of the commissioner, we will then take questions and answers first from the media assembled here in Colorado Springs at Penrose House, and then we will enable the speakerphone here at the table that where questions and answers will come from elsewhere around the country. We will then have stand-ups for television media or one-on-ones for anybody who would like to do some additional interviews here. First, a couple of thank yous. The sports information directors and their staffs of the 8 member institutions, especially Dave Morose and Dave Reed and the folks here at Colorado College and Eric Bacher at the University of Denver for their wonderful help. Also my partners, Carl Hirsch and Rich Oriolo of Stafford Sports, and Larry Rubin of Rubin Public Relations, the consultant team, for everything that they have been doing on behalf of the news conference today. Also a couple of introductions here in the room. We have 2 outstanding coaches here in the room, Scott Owens of Colorado College and George Gwozdecki of the University of Denver. Welcome. And then we also have 2 people who, along with Carl Hirsch, served as the search committee for identifying the first commissioner of the National Collegiate Hockey Conference, the Associate Athletic Director of the University of Denver, Ron Graham, who is here, and also our host and someone who has been working tirelessly on behalf of the conference and on everyone's behalf, the Athletic Director of Colorado College, who's going to make a few remarks, Ken Ralph.
Thanks, Bobby. I appreciate that. These things don't happen in a vacuum, and there's a lot of people who are responsible for making it happen. And Bobby Goldwater and Carl Hirsch, especially with both Goldwater Group and with Stafford Sports, their counsel, their guidance, their gentle prodding have been incredibly important, making sure this process reached the conclusion that we were all hoping for. And I think we're all very pleased as a conference as to where we've come out and to where we are headed. A couple of quick thank yous as well to folks who have been very, very supportive of the NCHC since its inception. The Elkamar Foundation, especially Bill Hibble and Dave Palanchar, have been tireless supporters of our organization and will continue to work with us for many years to come, and we're excited about that. It's wonderful to be back in Penrose House. Jane Mead and her team here are second to none. Absolutely wonderful individuals who've worked tirelessly to help us with our public announcements. Also want to say hi to a few folks that are in the room. Dave Ogren from USA Hockey, thank you. I know you made the trip back from Alberta. It's good to have you here. I see a bunch of other USA Hockey staff here in the room, so wonderful to have USA Hockey represented. Tom Osborne, and I see the Colorado Springs Sports Corp staff is with us today. Lou Malini from the Tiger Sports Network is with us today. Really enjoyed having you guys here. Mike Moran, who headed up communications for the USOC for more than 2 decades, has joined us. Mike, it's great to have you here. I didn't want to give the real number of years, so. But it's wonderful to have you in the room. And Steve Smith from HRO, we've chosen them to be our legal providers here for the NCHC. So Steve, wonderful to have you here. Thank you very much for joining us. And hope you're all looking forward to the announcement.
Thank you, Ken. Thanks for the kind words, appreciate it. I would now like to introduce the Athletic Director of the University of North Dakota and the a gentleman who has been serving as the spokesperson and chair of the Athletic Directors Committee of the National Collegiate Hockey Conference. To make the formal introduction, Brian Faison.
Thank you, Bobby. On behalf of the 8 institutions of the National Collegiate Hockey Conference, I want to thank you for joining us this morning for this very important announcement for the announcement of our first conference commissioner. As was stated, in this very room, 6 months, well, actually it's longer than that, we announced the formation of the National Collegiate Hockey Conference last July. Forgot how many months ago that was now. And our intent was to find an outstanding executive to lead the conference. That was our top priority. And this is something that, as has been acknowledged, has been a hard effort, part of many of the athletic directors, particularly Ken Ralph from Colorado College, and particularly, I want to thank Ron Graham, Senior Associate Athletics Director from Denver, for your hard work on this effort. I want to thank our coaches for their involvement in making time in the middle of the season to be involved in this process. The athletics directors developed a job description which highlighted leadership criteria that the group felt were highly important. This included sports business experience, marketing experience, experience dealing with national media, and experience developing and leading a staff. As we all understand, we are creating something new here, something special. A thorough national search for candidates was held, and with the critical assistance of our consultant team, which has been mentioned, Carl Hirsch of State Tapper Sports, and Bobby Goldwater of the Goldwater Group, this effort resulted in over 80 candidates for this position, an exceptional group of candidates, I might add. Very difficult process. The pool of candidates was narrowed, and in-depth interviews were conducted in Minneapolis and Denver over a period of 2 months. During this process, the gentleman, to be introduced in a moment, distinguished himself as someone who frankly blew away the established criteria for this position and impressed the athletic directors and head coaches tremendously. This gentleman's incredible depth of experience will serve the conference well, and we are delighted he has agreed to become the first conference commissioner of the nation. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the first commissioner of the National Collegiate Hockey Conference, Mr. Jim Shearer. Jim.
Well, good morning, and thank you. I'd first like to thank Brian and the athletic directors and the coaches at these institutions for showing the confidence in naming me as the first commissioner of the National Collegiate Hockey Conference. To say that I'm pleased with this appointment would be an understatement. I view this as a tremendous honor and privilege to be the first commissioner of this new conference. And as I pursued this position, it was an easy decision for me to not only pursue this opportunity, but to accept it because of the prospects for this conference. The schools have tremendous history and tradition and legacy in their hockey programs, as you know. The schools also have a tremendous record of success competitively in their hockey programs. And the opportunities that are before this conference are really unparalleled in college hockey, or I believe in college sports today, as this hockey goes forward, as this conference goes forward in 21 months and drops the first puck. But the easiest part of this decision was the people that I will be working with. The coaches and the athletic directors have made a tremendous impression on me, and I look forward to working with this group of professionals that are dedicated to not only their sport and their schools, but this conference. And the schools have made a significant commitment of resources, time, and energy to do this right and start the conference the right way with the right amount of resources. And I look forward to working with this group over the next couple of years to get the conference going, and then in the future, as the conference proceeds, to become what I think will become the premier college single sport conference in the NCAA. This is a singular honor for me to have been selected as the first commissioner. And again, I want to thank the athletic directors and coaches for the confidence that they've shown me in naming me as this first commissioner. And one thing that I am significantly looking forward to is working in the sport of hockey. The people that I know in this sport and the people that I've been friends with in Colorado Springs over the years that I've spent here have demonstrated to me the quality of people and individuals in the sport of hockey. There's a few of the folks here today, Chuck Delich and his brother Dave, Dave Ogren from USA Hockey, and, along with Art Berglund and Jimmy Johansson and the other folks I've gotten to know in the community that represent this sport, have made this a very, very easy decision for me. Because as you know, this is a family sport, and the values that this sport demonstrates and the values that the individuals learn in the sport the commitment that families make to putting these young men in a position to represent their communities and their families at the collegiate level, and perhaps go on to a professional career, or perhaps go on to become leaders in society, make this a unique position and a unique opportunity for me. And again, I want to thank the athletic directors and the coaches for naming me to this position. I look forward to working with all of you. Thank you all for being here.